everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we're going to be doing my 2025 bullet journal setup. So the first step of this setup was to cover up the setup that I already started doing and then hated the way it looked. You can kind of see it behind. I did this kind of like swirly cloud type thing. Honestly, I think that it looked okay. I just didn't like it for the beginning of the year. I felt like it was giving more of a Halloween vibe, and that's just not what I was going for. And so I decided to cover it up with craft paper. So a large part of the setup is me trying to very creatively use craft paper to cover up what I already did. That happens sometimes in bullet journaling. You make a spread or you make a theme and it just really doesn't turn out the way you want it to. For me personally, I decided to go ahead and cover it up because I really enjoy making the beginning of the year spreads and using them. I use them throughout the entire year, so I didn't want to feel sad and frustrated and irritated every single time I flipped back to these spreads throughout the year. I wanted to feel happy and I wanted to feel motivated. So that's why I chose to just cover it up with craft paper. So that is what I did. I do think the craft paper turned out really cute, and it was giving a lot more of the like cozy gardening, reading, grandma type person that I am. I think it matches my personality a lot better than like the clouds are like almost too cool for me, you know what I mean? So I decided to use craft paper and then use some of the stickers that came with this journal. I will link the journal in the description box. I got it off of Amazon. The brand is Vivid Scribbles, and I am absolutely loving it so far. It really held up with me doing multiple layers, gluing in it, and using also heavy marker. It's holding up great so far. I'm really, really loving it. It's really high quality. So I will link that below. It was also much cheaper than some of the journals that I've used in the past. So that is what I'm doing. And then, yeah, like I said, I just covered up kind of any of those extra spots that are peeking out with those stickers, which I think also turned out really cute. I don't use stickers that often in my bullet journal, but I think this was a good use of them, and I really wanted to use them. So I don't know that if I had gone with this theme and not absolutely hated the way it looked, maybe it would have taken me a long time to use those stickers. So I'm glad that I did. Moving on to my goals page. This is how I set up the goals page most of the time. I like to have a word of the year, and then I generally pick two categories of goals, health and personal, mostly just because sometimes my health goals are like really specific and I want to have a specific place for them besides just like other general personal goals that I have. In January, I will make a video going over what my 2025 goals are going to be. I made one for this year, and I think I'm actually going to make a video rewatching it and seeing like how many of the goals I accomplished. If you are interested in that, let me know. I think it would be a fun video to make. So stay tuned for that, I guess. Unless you tell me that you absolutely hate that idea and you will never watch it, then I don't know, maybe I won't make it then. Anyway, so this is my goals page. If I hadn't done the setup, I don't think I would have had this exact placement of craft paper, but I do think that overall it turned out pretty cute. I used a black marker to fill out the goals and then a white marker to make it look like there's little highlights on it. And then I went in and added, again, a few more stickers and some drop shadows with my pink Tombow. I think that just added in some fun color and made it very cute and cozy feeling. And then I went in with my white gel pen and added some more leaves and stars just to make it feel less plain. Here we are into my goal breakdown page. So what I like to do every year is I have my main goal page where I write down, what my general big goals are for the year. And I think that's great. But if you don't check in with your goals very frequently, you're going to number one, you're either going to forget that you even made that goal, or number two, it's going to seem like such a big goal that you're never going to accomplish it. So that's why I love these goal breakdown pages. I break it down every single month into small, achievable goals that fit into what my main goals are, but still help me reach those goals. So I have two categories, again, for personal and health, and then each month I make a few small, attainable goals that will help me reach the larger goal. The next 2 pages are about YouTube and then just also general creativity. The one on the left side is the YouTube one. This is where I can write down any just like random YouTube videos that I have, or ideas, that I have for videos, as well as goals for YouTube. I like to write down my stats at the beginning of the year, as in like what my subscriber count is, what my watch hours are, how many videos I've made. I like to write that down at the beginning of the year because I think it's awesome to compare at the end of the year, see how far I've come. I would like to make some more growth in YouTube next year. This year, I honestly didn't focus on it that much because I had a whole nother human being. And being postpartum and heavily pregnant really does, change the way you do things. So I didn't have a lot of energy for YouTube for a big part of the year. And now that my son is 9 months old, I'm starting to really get back into the swing of things. So I'm really excited to create more videos in 2025 and focus on it a little bit more. As much as you can when you have 2 very small children, but, I just take advantage of nap time and make it work, and I think that's a really fun thing. This is really fun for me. So the other side is a things I want to create page. So I have one column for project ideas, and then one is a project log. This is another one I made last year that was really fun because I can just write down like any random projects that I want to do. Like I wanted to finish my daughter's quilt. This year I actually did that. I was planning on posting a video about it, but I cannot find the backup drive that I had all the footage on. So if I ever find that backup drive, I'll post a video about it. But until then, sorry, no video. But so that's what I like to use that for. Just kind of write down whatever random creative ideas I have. This next spread is my reading tracker. I'm realizing as I'm watching this back that I forgot to number the boxes. I'll go back in and do that, but that's what I usually do. So there's 60 boxes there. Each box represents a book. So my reading goal for 2025 is 60 books. That's what my goal was for this year as well. And I'm currently like a teeny bit over or right at my goal. So I think 60 books is a really solid goal for me because it's around what I read every year. I think in 2023 I did 89 books. So, maybe now that my kids will be like a little bit older and more settled, I'll be able to read more in 2025 as well. We will see, but this is a really fun way to do it because the boxes just slowly fill up, and that's always really fun to watch. Basically what I do is I just use like a Tombow and outline the edge of the box to signify that I read a book. So that's how it works. The next one is my bookshelf spread. I really love doing this. Basically, there is a rectangle for every single month, and then I draw in the books that I read and color them based on what I rated them. So it's just a really quick and easy way to see how many books I read per month and kind of what my average rating was for them. If I really enjoyed them, which ones were my favorite, which ones I didn't like. And I really enjoy coming back to this every single month. I think it's so fun, and it's a great way to write down every book that you read, because in the past I did it on like a chart, but then I was running out of space, and I didn't know. It was like, okay, how many boxes do I put down? Because my goal is 60, but then what if I read more than 60 books? But where this is, I can just fill up the shelf with however many books I read that month. There's no like designated number, so it makes it a lot more flexible and a lot easier. And then it's really fun to see like, okay, I found that in November and December of the past 2 years, I have read way more books than I did in like July. So it's just kind of interesting to see like when I read more and when I read less. So then at the top, I'm just making a little key, writing 5 through 1 star, and then highlighting them with my Tombows to signify which color is which. So like, for example, if I read, say, The Grapes of Wrath, and I rated it 5 stars, then I would draw a little book, write in The Grapes of Wrath, and then for this specific spread, I would color it the pink color that I chose as the 5 star. So then I know, oh, okay, so in January I read The Grapes of Wrath and I rated it 5 stars. That's just like an example of how it works. And every once in a while I choose not to rate books, so I included that as well, but I don't use it very often. So these next 2 spreads I don't normally include in my yearly beginning of the year setup, but this year I really wanted to because I've been craving something like this in my bullet journal, and I think it's going to be really fun. These are want to read this year lists. Now, it's not a TBR because I am kind of a mood reader, but I'm also like a when the library hold comes off reader. And so sometimes, some books are more available than others, but I have been wanting a place to write down like books that I want to read in the near future. And in my most recent video, which was my favorite nonfiction of the year, I've actually been getting some really awesome recommendations. So I really wanted a place to just write them down so that I would remember that I wanted to read them this year. Check that video out, by the way, if you haven't seen it. I think it's a good one. And also you can tell me what nonfiction you want me to read. But basically, 1 page is for fiction books and 1 page is for nonfiction. I'm just gonna fill this out as I please and not really worry about like this isn't like a specific TBR. I have to read these books this year. It's just kind of like these are books that I want to read, and I'm going to put them in this year, and hopefully I read them this year, and we'll see what happens, I don't know the future, so can't tell you, but at least I have it written down so that I will remember, because that's the other thing. Sometimes, even if I put it in my want to read list on Goodreads, I just, completely forget that it exists, so I'm hoping this will help me stay a little more organized with remembering which books I want to read. And then again, just adding in that cute little pink drop shadow to make it a little more colorful and cute, and a few little stickers to tie in to the other pages. And that's it. That's my 2025 bullet journal setup. Even though we started off extremely rocky and had to cover it up, I am actually very pleased with how this turned out. I think it turned out really cute. I'm excited to use it. I feel motivated to use it. And that's what's really important to me about my bullet journal. I want to create spreads and use those spreads. So I am glad that I went through all the hard work of redoing all of these spreads, but I think they turned out great and I am so excited to use them. Let me know what spreads you'll include in yours, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!